Hello and welcome back to the Planning Pulse podcast. My name is Matt Harvison. I'm the principal practice lead for Workday Adaptive Planning at Active Cyber. With me, as always, is my lead solution architect, Beau Mellin. Beau, how are you doing today?
What's up? What's up? Episode 4, baby. Fired up.
Love it, love it. We also have the wonderful, talented Sarah Strother here with us as well. Sarah, how are you doing?
Good. Honored to make the podcast.
I love that. I love that. Well, today is the first day of November, which means last night did a little bit of trick or treating. Just, spirit of having fun here at the podcast. Sarah, what's your favorite type of candy?
With peanut M&Ms.
Peanut M&Ms. That's not my favorite, but it's definitely better than Skittles in my book.
More for me.
Bo, what about you?
I'm gonna go a little crazy here. I'm a sour straws type guy.
Good choice.
Anything sour, I just demolish.
Sour straws are good. They are good. For me, it's pretty much anything Reese's. I know we had the Reese's pumpkins, but now I'm just looking forward to Reese's trees right out of Halloween, straight into Christmas. But talking about, the best time of year, we are getting into the season where folks are starting to put together their budgets and going through budgeting season, which means putting together a lot of different board reporting packages. So I'm really fired up about today's topic of conversation for us, which is going to be Office Connect. It's going to be a little bit heavier on the demo side. I know we brought Sarah along to demo what a board reporting package can look like. We're also going to hit on some of the more recent releases that have come out from Workday Adaptive Planning related to Office Connect. But maybe before we dive in, one of the things that Beau and I really like to do on the podcast, Sarah, and you'll see it this time, and maybe if you come back in the future, you'll see it again. But we like to talk a little bit about what our favorite features are about the piece of product that we're going to be talking about today. So I know I hit on board reporting packages, which are an incredibly valuable part of the tool. Maybe let's start with Beau. Just when you think about Office Connect, think about the usability of customers and prospects. What do you like most about Office Connect?
Yeah, one of my favorite parts about Office Connect, Matt, outside of like the just general ease of use of it, is a feature we're going to show in the demo here in a minute called repeating reports. It can save a team so much time instead of having to go recreate those reports for every single unique intersection of the organization. We can make a report once, bring over all the KPIs and calculations, formatting, and just spin it up on its head off of every single different department or cost center or version or whatever we're talking about. Repeating reports is a big time saver, and we'll see that here in a minute.
Absolutely. Sarah, what about you?
I would have to say it's a new feature, but Write Back has become quickly my favorite. So where Office Connect historically has just been a way to pull data out of Adaptive, now with Write Back, we're actually able to push it back in. And so I've seen a lot of my customers really start to adopt it of being able to easily in one spot, not just pull that data out, but also push data back into Adaptive. So it's all in one location.
Yeah, right back just illustrates some of the reinvestment that Workday is continuously doing back into the product. So I'm sure we're going to show that in the demonstration today. And like I said, we're going to be very demo heavy. So as you all start sharing your screen, maybe I'll just hit on what my favorite topic is with Office Connect, which is that dynamic time reporting capability. So the ability to move your report forward. So as you close the month or as you move into the new quarter, you can just go ahead and automatically refresh, update your report, and you've got maybe that trailing 12 month with same month last year is just the dynamic time. You don't have to rebuild your reports every time you change over the month, which is just really something that I would have loved back in my FP&A days. But let's dive into the demo for everyone today.
All right. All right. Thanks, Matt. So now we're sitting inside of Microsoft Suite, right? Office Connect is an extension to bring in your actuals and your budget data in a dynamic aspect from an integration, or if we update our budget in Adaptive, we can come and see that little refresh button in the top left. We click that, we're going to have our most up-to-date data. Now we can leverage Office Connect in not just Excel, but then we can translate that out into a PowerPoint deck instead of PowerPoint, or if we want to have some type of 10K formatted aspect inside of Microsoft Word, we can go ahead and leverage Office Connect for Microsoft Word as well. So, at the end of the day, the Microsoft Suite is a great tool that everyone in the corporate world is familiar with. And so we want to be able to leverage some of that native Microsoft functionality, but layer it on top of our adaptive data that's going to allow us to be dynamic over time. So we're going to hit on a couple quick aspects inside of Office Connect right now to emphasize the point that this is a connection directly back to our adaptive instance. If we go on up to the little linked cells button up at the top of your screen here, and we go ahead and we click that, we are able to see all of the intersections of our adaptive OfficeConnect report here that are linked on back to our overall instance. So our actuals data is linked coming in from our integration. Our working budget there in column K is from the format that we actually generated inside of Adaptive. Now, the little bluish green areas are dynamic time labeling. Matt hit on that being his, favorite feature of Adaptive. Right now, if we go click on the little workbook properties aspect, you'll see we're looking at March 2024. So we're sitting in March, the end of March, and then we have back to October. So we have October through March. We have March of 2023 actuals. We have year to date for 23 and year to date 2024. And then we have some variance calculations that are just native Excel, calc, so we can go ahead and keep dynamic. So now, end of March, we're good. Now we're all the way through the end of April. We can come on into our calendar, move that to the end of April, click OK, come on back and refresh that report. And we're going to go ahead and see our OfficeConnect package go ahead and update. And now we're going to be sitting from November through April. And then column K also updates column S&T, where we see now April year to date. Matt hit on it a little bit, but right, as we close the next month, we don't have to go recreate a whole report. We just move the date forward. We click refresh. We see the new data. That's one of the first things we're going to hit on. The next is the ease of use. So this even further shows linked cells, right? You guys on the podcast can all notice 13 through 17 have no linkage, right? It's all white. We need to go ahead and bring in all of the lines for that OpEx piece of our reporting package here. So to do that, we just highlight those rows. We go on over to our elements pane on the far left of the screen here. We open up our general ledger accounts. We know these are sitting under our OpEx parent hierarchy. We can go ahead and expand that, and we need to bring in taxes through other expenses. Now, everything in Adaptive, no code, no script, drag and drop functionality. We drag it on over. Now, boom, we see blue. That linkage is made. We can go on back, click refresh, and now all of our data is going to come in for those new intersections as well. One of the things I really also like calling out about this is you see in columns O and Q, if we go ahead and we double click on one of those calculations here, we see that's those native formulas inside of Excel. Those all update as well as our data flows in. So we can even take your existing reporting package that you all leverage today. We go back, we link it to your Adaptive instance. Everything's going to stay dynamic. The formatting is going to be in a way that you and the company's used to. Last piece here, and then I'm going to kick it to Sarah to talk about her new favorite feature right back, is the repeating reports, which is what I said I really love. If we come on up today and we notice, hey, this P&L report looks great, but we made this for the entire company. I need this location by location. Matt, back in his accounting and FP&A days, might have thought his day was shot, and he had to go make this new report 50 different times. We can now click on repeating reports. And when I go ahead and I open that up, I can go on down to my level structure. As you guys know, in episode 1, we hit on that. That's our organizational hierarchy. If we go ahead and we expand this, I'm going to go ahead and repeat a couple different locations inside of my ops. I'm going to go in and I'm going to add Canada. I'm going to add UK. I'm going to add France, US. Then I go ahead and I click create. And then now I'm going to go ahead and come on back to that, trusty refresh button in the top, refresh that. And boom, you see down at the bottom, we were sitting originally in this first formatted tab. That's the piece that has the data for the entire organization. But now if we go location by location, that same P&L is now spun up for the entire organization. Great, great, great feature. So many of our customers, back when I was implementing for Adaptive, would use this a lot, and it's a big time saver. So linked cells, dragging and dropping in data, and repeating reports, all really nice features that I really love and our customers are using on a daily basis. Now, Adaptive, all of the Workday suite has releases in March and September of every year, and OfficeConnect Right Back was a new release that just came out in September of this year. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Sarah. She's going to talk about Right Back for a couple minutes here.
Perfect. So like I was saying with Right Back, where OfficeConnect inherently has always been a pull, now we can start to push data back. So what we're going to do really quickly is just spin up a quick report, thinking of our revenue. And so with any reports, we always start with our time element. I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple of different columns here, get that range, come in, open up our time. In this case, we're planning for FY 2025, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the months there. And if you just hold down Shift, you can quickly grab a range of values and then drag and drop that on over. It's going to default to have month current. So instead, what we want to see here is we're going to put a label, come over and grab our time, get that name on there. So whenever we do a refresh, it's going to format those for us. We don't have to manually key it in, worry about updating it over time. The next piece is I want to look across all my different products. We're really just trying to get to that granular intersection of our data. So here we'll have our product. If we use this apply immediate children as a group, it's going to go ahead and add all of my products to the list. And then in the future, new products pop up, automatically updates on my report. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and add it twice so that we can see not just me changing around our units. I also want to see the revenue change as we go through and play around with write back. And then the last piece is we're going to want our account. In this case, I'm going to go into one of my planning sheets. So where we previously were working with our financial statement accounts, this time we're going to come look at that product revenue cube. Up top, I just need to grab any of those rows and we're going to apply our units. We'll have our pop out, really just reminding us that we're applying it across all those accounts. And then same thing with that revenue. Here, so we can go ahead and press refresh just to see what that report's going to look like for us. And then now last piece, so it looks like up top we may have some rounding. So if I want to go ahead and suppress that, if I highlight those rows, we can use selection properties. We'll double check to get that rounding off. Do one more refresh. Okay. With write backs, like I was saying, we have to be at that most granular intersection. So in this case, this data also lives at the customer in level granularity. So I'm going to go ahead and add all my levels on here. That select all descendants goes ahead and checks it for us. And then we can come down to that customer dimension, go ahead and add all my different values as filters. So now what I can easily do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to pick a specific customer. We can come pick a specific level. So we're going to look at Sales Tokyo and I'll refresh. Once we're down here now to actually use write back. So this time I'm going to highlight any rows that we want to make input adjustments to. So in this case, those units, because again, revenue is a calculation off of it. On that OfficeConnect tab, I'm now going to come and press write back and we'll see the background color switch from that white background over to yellow whenever it refreshes. What yellow means is that we're in write back mode. It's the system's way of telling you, here's what you're doing. Here's all the different cells where you can come and make an input. So if we look specifically at this product B3, right now we have no units in there. But now for the plan, we're expecting to have 100 units from March to August. Maybe for our existing, so product A5, instead of having 84 units, we're actually expecting 150 units there. And then if we look down, we can see those revenue numbers. Once we're finished with those inputs, I'm now going to submit those changes. So this is the same as if you were doing a manual import. You're publishing it to the system. We're going to go ahead and exit write back mode. We'll refresh. And then what we want to see down below is we're going to see our revenue numbers update. So it is a two-step process. Once you publish your changes, you then need to do the refresh on any and all reports the same way with any other changes. We would do that. But we're now able in one spot. Not only did I push data in the system, but now I see the output of what those changes have made.
Yeah, that's remarkable. I know a lot of times whenever we're talking with customers or we're talking with folks who are thinking about adopting Workday Adaptive Planning, a lot of the questions that they have with OfficeConnect is, I goes one way, can it go back? Now, historically, there was Excel interface for planning. It was an available option for you, but it was more in the same format as the sheet. In this case, you're just going directly from a report that's got units and revenue by product. It's not in that format that a lot of customers see within maybe a cube sheet or a model sheet inside of Adaptive, like we had to do with inside of Excel interface for planning. So no, really, really love the write back functionality. Beau and Sarah, thank you so much for running through the demonstration of the product today. Really, any final thoughts from you all?
No, that was a clinic by Sarah there. That's all I'll say. But no, we appreciate you coming on, Sarah. We love talking Adaptive and OfficeConnect. So keep y'all's head on a swivel for more future episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I would say really about Office Connect to sort of sign us off here is I was recently talking with a customer who just last week we did an implementation for them about 4 years ago, and they're going through a reevaluation of some of the things that they had done. What can we re-implement to be a little bit more efficient on? And he specifically identified they built out three custom management P&Ls inside of Sheets and Adaptive, utilizing custom accounts and utilizing standard sheets, and spent hours and hours reconciling that data. He said, if we would have gone through and even listened about Office Connect and Matrix reports, and knowing that we weren't ever going to make any type of entry into those management reports, we just wanted to see the data. We would have loved to have done Office Connect. We use Office Connect now for all of those. We could have saved so much time. So when you think about how to use Office Connect, it is those board reporting packages. It's your management P&L. It's any type of alternative view of any type of reporting structure that you're looking for. You have the dynamic time reporting capabilities. Like Beau showed, you can have the repeating report so you can slice across all of your levels, departments, dimensions. And like Sarah just showed us, now you can write back too. So if you do want to make changes to your model, you've got the ability to do that. So again, really appreciate the clinic that Sarah just put on with a lot of the demo functionality. Peanut M&Ms is an interesting one. Like I said, it sure beats Skittles in my book, but it's not Reese's, that's for sure. But yeah, thank you all so much for your time today, and we'll see you again next week. You can plan on it.